Again, I said I carry a cap gun, a little dollar store cap gun. In the mountains or in any enclosed forest, a cap is extremely loud. There's a lot of people that carry starter pistols or bear bangers or whatever. It's extremely lightweight, durable, disposable in the sense that if it does break or whatnot, I'm not out $20 to $30 or how much more. 8 shots in a row, you get 160 shots for $1. You know, and just keep in mind that an animal has never heard a cap gun. You might look at one and laugh, but an animal has never heard one. You fire one of these in the wilderness, walk behind anybody that you go hiking with that laughs at the idea of this. Without them knowing, fire off a cap and see how far they jump. Yeah, so it's the same principle with animals. I even had to use them the one time to move porcupine outside of my tent when it just refused to move. So I just fired a couple shots from inside my tent, even scared him away. I carried on, a little bit of sulfur inside the tent, no big deal. Toothbrush, toothpaste, extras. I could, you know, there are a lot of ways to save weight. Even carrying it in a bag saves, or without a bag saves weight. This is a basic first aid kit. There's some little tape, gauze pad. This is a little camp washcloth. You just get it wet and it expands out to regular dishcloth size. Various pills, antacid, because I do get heartburn quite often. A little bottle of super glue. Plastic bands, band-aids, just a very, very basic. This is hydrocortisone cream for burns or rashes or itching. So I use that. That's just my basic impact pack, first aid pack. And then we go on to, this is the pack that I wear around my waist at all times when I'm not in camp. It stores my electronics in the main pouch, my camera bag, and the camera's being used at the moment. I also carry maps of the area that I'm going to, pre-studied of course, but in a bag so they're waterproof. There is also inside of this bag, there is also a little crossword puzzle in case I get bored, crossword book, so I can do some crosswords. This also goes in part with my survival kit, which is also in the same bag, so might as well keep it all together, right? Inside I do have a spot GPS locator. My family insisted, and once I've had one, I actually insist on people getting one. They have come out with the small, this was the first generation, so it is a little bit bigger, but the second one is quite a bit smaller. Same features. Emergency help buttons. This is an SOS button that will send a call anywhere in the world to International Search and Rescue. So if you're in Jasper National Park in Canada, and you're a tourist, you're up from the States or whatever, it doesn't really matter where you're from. You hit this button, you'll send a message to the International Search and Rescue. They'll contact Jasper and tell them, they'll show them exact coordinates of where you are. You can also send messages out to your family, friends, Facebook, and it will show them where you are on the trail. So it's good as, I use it as a good guide. If I'm hiking through Jasper, going in fairly deep, I can actually, when I come back from my trip, I can see exactly where I was in the bush, which is really nice, and I add it to my picture collection and whatnot. So inside here as well, I do have a backtrack I went and picked up. It's a 5-point backtrack. It's I'm finding this very useful in the fact that if you're going to an unknown location, or if you venture out from your day camp, it stores 5 different points. So if you come to a fork in the road, you can use this. It will mark that point. It will show you how to get back to that point. So you can go venturing aimlessly with confidence that you're going to get back to camp. It also keeps time, temperature, and altitude. So it's a good little thing. I found, like most electronics though, in the winter, you got to keep everything close to you and keep it warm, or else the electronics have trouble functioning. So that's basically it. Oh, sorry. I have 2 chews in the bottom here, just as they must have been leftovers from last trip. And in the front, I do have my survival kit that I'll go in. This is just on top. This is not actually part of the survival kit, but it will work with it. This is my camp lantern. If you notice in my other videos, I was using a candle lantern, which is great. I highly recommend those. If you're going with a group of people. That's great for sitting on the picnic table around at night. Everyone has a good view. But this from Mech here, it's $6. It's a Coghlan's little mini LED. Unbelievably good. I've been testing this out every single night. One button turns it on. Extremely bright. It's only got one LED, 2 little batteries inside. It's about $2.50 to replace both of those batteries. Not inexpensive. And this was only a $6 item. It does have a strobe feature for emergencies if needed. But yeah, a little $6 lantern. You can hang this on your zipper as you're hiking through the bush. It's unlimited uses. And another good point is, versus the candle, tips over, I don't worry about burning. I can actually hold it in my hand. It never gets hot. Extremely useful little thing for $6. And it takes up very little room. So that's basically odds, ends, and extras. In my next video I'll go through this little survival pack here. It's going to be a short video. There's not much in there, just because I usually do not venture very far from my regular day camp, and if I did, I would upgrade. I usually carry a backpack with basic supplies in it as well for the day, so that adds to the survival pack. This is just basically if I went away from camp short distance or whatnot, was not able to make it back to camp right away, I still could survive. Alright, so that's just, yeah, again, basic overview. Most of this stuff here is extras. I don't need to carry them. I don't need a little lantern. I don't need this. I don't need the book. So there are a lot of ways cutting weight, but again, it's just whatever your comfort level and what you choose to bring. At one point I was going down to measuring everything in grams, even down to half grams, and just, you know, trying to cut weight. And during the summer when you're trying to do ultralight, that's great. It works awesome. But during the winter, for a little bit of extra weight, it's just, and like for the boredom during the summer, you can go on day hikes during the day. The sun's out later at night, so you can do a lot more activities. But at night, during the winter, it's mostly just sitting around camp. You can venture out if you'd like to. In the area that I'm in, though, where I've been going to, it's not a good idea to be venturing out at night. It's pretty thick bush, so it can get pretty bad. So I can sit around camp, collect pebbles during the day or whatever, and just, you know, build a little snowman off to the side and just, you know, just have some fun with it. I would never shoot any animals with it unless it came to an absolute survival situation, but no, it's just for fun, just for a little target practice, and keep you occupied. Alright, see you guys in a bit.